All right, Dr. Jim. And I know you're out having a good time. I don't know if you're live streaming this morning, but welcome. Welcome everybody that's live streaming this morning. And we will find out what is happening here in just a minute. Okay, that is not my talk. That's okay. Anyway, the first 4 chapters of The Science of Mind, the textbook, and what we're going to be talking about today is the thing itself. And I have to tell you, for some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't want to do this today. Not that I didn't want to be with you, but for some reason I was really fighting reading that first chapter all over again. There was something inside of me that said, Jesus, I've done this 10 times. Why do I have to do it again? And the more I read the chapter and the more I got into what was going on and the more the feelingness of it, I realized that we become so complacent in our day-to-day life. We become, and we keep repeating the things, thank you. I hope this is on. We keep repeating the lessons. We can call them lessons. We keep repeating what that old 2013 garden was growing. And so when I started reading the chapter, I'm not on. There you go. The first sentence from the thing itself is the study of the science of mind is a study of the first cause, spirit, mind, and that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff, the infinite intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of creation, the thing itself. And I started thinking about, okay, the thing itself, the back of all creation is this thing itself, this essence, this power that moves in and through everything and everywhere all the time. And, good old Ernest Holmes says there's a power in this universe greater than we are, and we are able to use it because we use it constantly. But how are we using it? You look at that garden that we just had from 2013, and what did your weeds look like? And what have you been hoeing in that garden and keeping in that garden for years and years? I know I've had stuff out there. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of stuff out there that I've seen that every year I keep thinking, oh gosh, I'm going to do a resolution, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bring this into the next year. And then the next year comes along, and I don't know about anybody else. Is anybody else like this? And I say, and I have the same resolution. It's like, okay, this year I'm going to do it. And then I might take it in like the first couple months or whatever, and things start changing in my life, and I go right back to that old garden and those old plants. Am I the only one? No, I didn't think so. And so it's the fact that, okay, we talk about the stuff, the infinite intelligence, and I think about, okay, what is infinite? So I went to good old Webster, and he said, infinite is extending indefinitely, endless. Can I picture endless? No, I can't picture endless. Immeasurably and inconceivably great and extensive. Immeasurably and inconceivably great. Can I picture that? No, I can't picture that either. I keep talking about it, and I say that that's within me, and I keep saying, wow. Extending beyond, lying beyond, or being greater than any pre-assigned finite value, however large. You see, I'm a finite being, so the only thing that I can come up with is not infinite, it's finite. And as soon as I start to try to define something, as soon as I start to say that this is this way, I bring it from the infinite into the finite. And then that kind of brings me down into the smaller self. And I live from that smaller self for quite a while. And all of a sudden, my life will not be going quite as well as I thought it would, or quite as well as it was going a little while ago. And then all of a sudden, I realize, and it dawns on me, well, gosh, I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. I'm not doing my daily practices. I'm not paying attention to what I'm thinking. Ernest Holmes says, that life is a mirror, and it reflects back to us what we think into it. And then I think, oh boy, if I look at my life, and life is a mirror, and everything that I'm thinking is what's going on in my world, crap. I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes I've really messed up. And it's like I look at this going, oh, why am I seeing this again? I got rid of it last year. I did. I got rid of it last year. And here it comes again. And I thought, okay, so somewhere in that soil that I have been planting the seeds in, and somewhere that I'm looking in that mirror, the image that is looking back at me is the one that I've always had. So in order to have a change, I have to change the image in that mirror. I have to look in that mirror and see something different. How easy is that? Sounds easy, doesn't it? To see something totally different in the mirror of life that I've always been looking through, that window, that shade that I've always had drawn down. And it's so much easier just to be there and say, in that beingness or in that ness, whatever, and say, oh, well, it's not my fault. So-and-so made me feel that way. Oh, something, it's your fault. You're the one that pushed my button. How many people do we work with that push our buttons? Family? We just had the holidays, right? How many buttons were pushed? Yeah, really? How many buttons got pushed the last 2 weeks? We sat there going, why am I here? I had the best holidays this year. Had friends over, we played cards, we had a good time. And then when I went to my family, usually there are 20 or 30 people there, at least. And so it was Christmas Day. I made a 22-pound turkey, had it cut up, and I was over there. And she said anytime after 3, so I'm there at 4:15, and there are no cars. And I'm thinking to myself, this is Christmas, isn't it? I started doubting myself, and I thought, gosh, is this Christmas? And I walk in the house, and it's only 4 of us. And I look at them going, what's going on? They say, I don't know. They have a 15-pound ham. I have a 22-pound turkey with 4 of us. Well, so all of a sudden, about 5:30, 2 other people show up with their kids, so there's 7 adults and 2 children. We're going, oh, isn't this nice? And in actuality, it was the best Christmas I've had in a long time because we got to sit and talk. We got to actually communicate. I don't know about you guys, if you have a lot of people or a lot of things going on, chaos, kids coming in, people bringing gifts, other people opening gifts. That's the way it's always been on a holiday. And it's like you never have a chance to really sit down and talk to somebody. Find out what's going on in their life. It's like you start to talk to this person and this person comes in and then you hear their story and then you hear their story and you're halfway through all the stories and it's like you haven't really heard anything from anybody. And you leave going, wow, that was interesting. And the same people that have bugged you all your life still bug you. And you're glad you didn't talk to them. But it was a good Christmas because we sat down together and we sat at one table and we talked and we communicated and we let each other know what was going on in our lives. And we heard things about each other that we had never heard before. Infinite, finite. I tell that because we are so magnificent. We are so special. We have that essence, that spark within us, and that's what we're here for. The thing itself, that stuff, that's who we are. The infinite intelligence moves in and through us. And we have the ability to use it and claim it and be part of something so much greater than we are. But do we even think of that? No. We think about the fact that, oh, well, so-and-so is doing this or so-and-so is doing that, and we judge this or we judge that. Don't we? I do. I'll find myself in judgment. I'll find myself looking at somebody and thinking something and going, what am I doing? I'm the same as you are, Andy. We're one. How about that?
You're right.
I'm one with all of you. How can I really look at you and see something different in you that I can't see in me? Because if I'm judging you, then I'm judging me. There's something within me that says, ooh, I don't like that. Ooh. Who wants to take responsibility for that? I don't know. Now, the thing itself, I love looking at the Hubble or through the Hubble telescope. Not through it, I haven't seen through the Hubble telescope, but I love looking at pictures that the Hubble telescope brings back. And I talk about infinite. And I look at all of these, constellations or whatever they're called. I really am not that into, or I'm not really up on the verbiage of what these are. But I look at this stuff and I think to myself, and we think we're the only ones here. And this is in our galaxy. We have millions, or is it billions? I don't know if it's millions or billions of galaxies. It's like we're a grain of sand in the whole of the universe. And we think that we're the only grain of sand. Doesn't work. Infinite. That means that there's no end. That we are endless. And we have endless opportunities. We are a phenomenal, brilliant, fantastic light of God. And that's what we're here for. We're not here for anything else. We're not here to make the paycheck. I hate to tell you that. And we're not here to fight with the kids or whatever. We're here to be the expression of love and God in this universe. That's what we're here for. We are that spark. How many of us are living that way? Yeah, I know you are. I see that spark going on in you. But how many of us are? How many of us are that spark, that light that people are attracted and drawn to because it's our essence of purity and love and grace? And we see that in everybody around us. That's not that easy, is it? But it's as easy as we want to make it. So infinite, it's just looking at the fact that being infinite is at our disposal. It's right here, right now, right inside of us. Anything and everything we could possibly imagine that ever was, ever will be, is already here. We just have to open up to it. Oh, well. The thing itself says, we all have one mind. And he's talking about objective and subjective mind. And we all have one mind. But this one mind has two spheres of activity. How many people have heard about objective, subjective? Taken any classes? And one sphere is activity of often called the objective mind or the conscious mind. And that conscious mind is what you're thinking with right now. Crap, I don't understand the things she's saying. Oh, I wish she'd shut up. Or I really like this, keep going. That's your thinking mind. That's your conscious mind. That's your objective mind. And you have the ability to put whatever it is in that mind because you're thinking it and you're aware of it. No, we're not aware of everything we think, are we? And that's because of our subjective mind. The other sphere of activity is often called the subjective mind. That's the mind of the seat of the soul. It is living divinely within you. It is the God mind that spans space and time and is connected to all living things. All things everywhere. Everything is living, right? Everything's made of energy, so it's all things are connected. So we're connected to absolutely everything. Everywhere. So, okay, we take our objective mind, and we're thinking, and we're doing these things. So the meditation we did this morning was like this. Our objective mind, we're thinking into the subjective field, which our subjective mind is our subconscious mind. So when we plant the seeds in our subconscious mind or our subjective mind, we can do one or two things. We can leave them alone and let them grow. But how many of us pull them up? I wonder if it's growing yet. Gee, I haven't seen it. It's been 5 minutes. Darn. How many times do we self-sabotage? How many times do we look at what it is and we maybe treat or we pray for something, and then all of a sudden we pull it up and say, well, it isn't growing yet. Yeah, I see. She understands. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. We do it all the time. We do it constantly. But the thing is being aware of it, becoming aware of it. And your conscious mind can do that. Listening to, if you want to know what's going on in your subconscious mind, your subjective mind, if you really want to know what's happening there, take a look at your life. Ooh. Take a look at your life. What do you have in your life? What are you happy about? What are you sad about? What are you bringing into your life every single day? What people are in your life? Who do you fight with, argue with? Who do you love every day? Who do you have communication with and connection with every day? What does your life look like? Hello? What does your life look like? And whatever it looks like is what your subjective mind has the seeds planted in and are growing. That's exactly what it is. So, in order to know what's going on in your subjective mind, you look at your life and you say, oh, I don't really like that. You know, I realize I don't really like that aspect. I really don't like that part of me. Oh, I'm falling down here. Wow. Nobody said anything. I was falling apart. Wow. Good friends. But the thing is that when we look at our life and we say, I don't like that. I don't like that about myself. I don't like that part of my life. It gives us the opportunity from our objective mind to change it, to plant a new seed like we did today in our meditation. And watch it grow and not pull it up after 5 minutes or now doubt it. Now that's the other aspect, is your belief system. And I know Dr. Jimenez, I think the first time I ever heard him say it's your BS, I understood that he was talking about your belief system. But it is your BS. And it's what the sum total you believe to be the truth about yourself up until this point in time. Now the key word here is the truth about yourself. What do you believe to be the truth about yourself? Look at your life. That's what you believe to be the truth about yourself. And if there's something you don't like, you need to change that and believe something new. And that just takes time. It takes effort. It takes something going on every day. It takes practice. Oh, wow. Andy, you didn't learn to play the piano in 2 seconds, did you? No. Well, of course, the way you do play, I can imagine you would. But he didn't learn to play in 2 seconds. You had to sit down and practice. And so do we. We have to practice and be aware of what's going on around us. Be aware of what our thought patterns are. Where are we focusing our energy? Where are we looking? What are we giving power in our lives? The thing itself, we are all thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. It's whatever you want to call it. Some call it God. Some call it Buddha, Yahweh. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you call it, because it is not gender-oriented. It doesn't care what you call it. It just knows that you're their beloved. You are this phenomenal being, and it says yes to everything that you put in, everything you plant in that subjective mind. I love you so much, yes. Oh, Jesus, he's a pain in the butt. Yes. Oh, I hate going to work today. Yes. I'll give you more experiences to say that you hate it. Ooh, I just heard no. Somebody recognized something. How do we greet the day? Do you get up happy and say, yes, another wonderful day. I am so excited. I'm running to work, or I'm getting in the shower. I'm just so happy. Do you do that, Andy? I'm learning to. Sometimes I get up and go, oh, crap, another day. How many times do we do that? Without even thinking. Not wanting to get out of bed. Not wanting to face the day. Not wanting to move forward in our lives because you know something, it's kind of scary because you have to get out there in that skinny branches. You have to take a chance. It's scary out there. You think you're alone, but you're not. You're not alone. You're never alone. The thing itself, Thomas Troward, the subjective mind is entirely under the control of the objective mind. With the utmost fidelity, it reproduces and works out to its final consequences whatever the objective mind impresses upon it, which is what we've been talking about. What are you objectifying in your life? What do you focus on every single day? What do you think the first time, when you first get up in the morning, what's your first thought? Do you even know? Do you even know what your first thought is? Some of you are going, yeah, I do. Some of you are going, all I can think of is just staying in bed, right? But be aware of what your first thought is. What comes to your mind? And then, not only that, what is the last thought you have when you go to bed at night? Ooh. You're going through your day. You're going through some argument you had with somebody. You're doing what? You're planting the seeds that in your dreams you're going to relive all of this stuff that happened during the day. All of the stuff. Who wants the stuff? Ernest Holmes, practically the whole human race is hypnotized because it thinks what somebody else told it to think. Who in this room has had a thought of their own? A creative thought of their own? You sure? Is there any thought that is totally creative, any thought that's brand new? Or have you heard it someplace? Or is it in the back of your mind? Or has it been stored there for a while? Speaking, you're listening to me. There isn't one creative new thing that I'm telling you. You've heard it all before, somewhere, somehow, some way. There isn't anything that I'm saying that isn't new. It's been around since the beginning of time because it's always been there. I'm speaking a language that we learned, and who told us what the language was? Who said that this is a podium? Podium by any other name is still a podium, right? Who said? Are you ever going to question who said in your life? Who told you that? We think of some of the things that we were carrying from 2013 and working on not carrying into 2014. And have you ever thought to stop and think about some of those ideas that you have and say, well, who said? Who said? Was it your teacher, your parent, your siblings? Who said that? Who told you that? There isn't a single thought in our heads that is original, that is ours. Starting from this point forward, they will be, though, won't they? Starting from this point forward, we will work on planting the seeds of inspiration and creativity and love. We will see everyone that comes into our life as that beautiful, phenomenal light of God that we are, and we connect to it. And how do we do that? Just taking a deep breath and looking in someone's eyes and saying to yourself, because it might get you in trouble otherwise, I love you. Good morning, I love you. That opens your heart and opens their heart. Doesn't have to be said out loud. I love you. So the thing itself is that wonderful essence, that phenomenal beingness that we are. That's what the thing itself is. We have cause and effect. We've talked about that somewhat. Cause and effect, sowing what we reap. What you put out, you get back. So if we're talking about objective mind and subjective mind, and we're talking about planting the seeds in this fertile soil, well, it could be a foil too, I guess. So we're planting seeds into this fertile soil. And whatever our cause is, whatever that thought pattern is that we focus on is our cause, and it'll affect everything in our lives. The end result of what our life looks like is the effect. The cause is the thoughts that you hold in consciousness, the thoughts that you have, that you think over and over and over again. And half the time you don't even realize it. Your thoughts have power. Guide your thoughts and find your power. Wow. Guide my thoughts and find my power. How powerful are you? Shake your head. You're very powerful. We are very, very, yes, I like that one. Powerful. We are powerful. We are phenomenal beings. But see, somebody told me I wasn't once. I don't even remember who it is. But somewhere in that subconscious mind somewhere, there is a plant growing that I haven't found yet that says I'm less than. I'm not as good as. I'm not as pretty or smart as. I am not that perfection and that divinity of God. And how do I know that? Because sometimes in my life, these things that I've been working on releasing and not being attached to keep coming back into my life to say, ooh, I'm still here. Hello. Right? So now, 2014 is the time. And I challenge all of you at home, I challenge you to join me. That 2014 is the best year of our lives. Who'll give me a hallelujah? Hallelujah. That 2014 will move us and expand us and help us to grow and evolve, not only as human beings, but as a society, as a planet that's evolved. That 2014, we no longer have the excuses. We're no longer attached to the, oh, well, what ifs, or whatever it is that we're dragging around. We aren't attached to that anymore. And we allow ourselves to be free. And that's what the thing of self is about, freedom. Freedom from the old paradigm, shifting into a new paradigm, a new habit pattern, a new mindset that says yes to wonderful, phenomenal, fantastic things. Yes to life and living life to its fullest. How many people are living life to its fullest? Anybody? Not one hand is up. You at home? Anybody there living life to its fullest? So I guess you're going to accept my challenge, aren't you? Yeah. All right. The thing itself, you can see that every effect that shows up in our lives, well, we already talked about this. We don't need that. Okay. The thing itself, instead of thinking outside of the box, get rid of the box. I love that. We keep saying, well, think outside of the box. I love Chopra. Get out of the box. It's like, first time I ever heard Michael Beckwith. I love the man. And I was at a Sillamar. And what he was talking about is get out of the boat. You're in the middle of the ocean, and the ocean is going up and down, and Jesus is already walking across. So get out of the damn boat. Get out of the box. Get out of the paradigm that you find yourself in that no longer serves you, that no longer gives you that feeling of freedom and love, the feeling of infinite possibilities, that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you know you have the wisdom within you to create the best. The simplest way to state the proposition is to say that we have a conscious mind that operates within a subjective field, which is creative. Is that what we've been talking about? That's what we've been talking about. Life is what you make it. Another one by Ernest Holmes. There's a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. There's a law in the universe that creates what we believe. It reacts to us according to our belief in it. Yes, the universe is powerful. Yes, we are powerful. Yes, there are infinite opportunities out there, but how much of that do you believe? How much of that are you going to take home with you today and say, yes, I believe this. Yes, I am a beautiful light of God, and I'm going to radiate and be a beacon for everyone that's in the dark. Not throw up all over them, please. I know when I first started Science of Mind, it's like, you can't, everybody, when you first learn treatment, you treat for a parking space. because you have to demonstrate, right? So you treat for the parking space, and all of a sudden, all the parking spaces are showing up, and you pull in a parking lot, and somebody pulls out, and you're going, yes, this really works. And then you forget that it's that simple for everything. We say something's bigger than the other. We put a value on something instead of seeing that everything's the same. Incurable disease, okay? That's incurable, right? Somebody says it's incurable. Yet how many people have survived and been cured of cancer or other things that they said is incurable? How come they can do it? We all can, because we all have the same ability. But what it is their belief in that ability. What do you believe? Look at your life. What are you creating? Look at your life. What are you feeling and putting out in the world? Look at your life. What do you want to create? What do you want to experience? Start there. See it, feel it, understand it, know that it's already done. Plant that seed in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind and then renew it. See it as already done. See that plant as growing and grown. And feel what it feels like. It's that feeling space that creates it. You know, there's a difference of getting up in the morning and saying, oh, well, it's a nice day. That's okay, it's a nice day. Or getting up and saying, yes, it's a great day. It's a wonderful day. There's a difference in energy, and you have to create the energy within you. That's what propels you. That's what sets you free. That's what plants the seed and watches it grow and have it manifest in your life. That's it. I love this with Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. What habits are you creating over and over and over every day? What does your life look like? What new habits would you want to create starting right now? You with me in 2014? We're going to create a phenomenal 2014? All right. I have a letter. I don't even know if I want to read this because we've kind of gone through most of this, but it's one of our ministers, and she has a blurb, and it kind of put all of this in perspective. Let me put my glasses on. Otherwise, I may not see everything perfectly. What is the basic rule of life? Your life is exactly the way you truly believe it is, at the deepest part of your mind and soul. We all speak happy talk. Often we put on a brave face and a crappy life. We all speak happy. We all, at one time or another, wish and hope and talk about the time when our ship comes in. Anybody else has a ship out there in the harbor waiting to come in? I've seen the sails. I don't know about you, but I've seen the sails. But we know deep down inside, we know that the only ship that comes in is the one we call with our thoughts, words, and deeds. We know who we really are deep inside. We can fool all of the people most of the time, but we can never fool ourselves at any time. So many of us live lives of quiet desperation, knowing that we are not living the life we thought we would live or are capable of living. We search outside ourselves, seeking the solution in crystal, in drugs, relationships, a bottle, whatever it is, a new book. How many people try that new class all the time? We're always trying that new class, thinking that it's going to be and change us. And yet we go in and we do that class, and we go through that class, and a couple months after the class is over, we're not doing it anymore. Or even a week after it's over, we're not doing it anymore. Somebody get me a piece of Kleenex. I would appreciate that. In our society, we spend billions on self-help and self-health remedies, and so often they work for our, thank you. They work for a few hours, or a few days, or a few months. That malady is the fact of our cure is really we don't, the malady is the fact at our core, we really don't like ourselves and don't believe that we are worthy of what we want. Ooh, ow. Okay. Anybody else relate to this? Okay. So what do we do about this? Change your thinking and begin it right now. Change your thinking from complaining, willing about, or whining about your misfortune, which only creates more of the same. Change your thinking to what you desire in your life, what you insist on having in your life, and what you know that you already have in your life. So what is it? Gratitude. Look for gratitude. Look at what you already have and say, thank you, God. I am so grateful that my big toe doesn't hurt right now. When we pray, know that you already have received it. The thought and the belief always precedes the things, always. Nothing in this world or any other was ever made without the first being the thought of mind. Change your thinking, change your life is a slogan from religious science. And anybody that's been in this teaching knows that. Change your thinking, change your life. What is the rest of the greatest secret seldom told? Your thoughts, your words, and your actions must all be in harmony, in alignment. Uh-oh. Your thoughts, your words, and your actions all have to be in harmony, in alignment. Okay, so what does that mean? You cannot think lovely thoughts, then give someone the California one-finger salute. You cannot think love and then gripe and complain all through lunch. You cannot say you love your wife or husband or someone else and then wonder to yourself, why you ever married them? Why am I in this relationship? Why are they here? You cannot talk about being a multimillionaire and then complain about how broke you are. You cannot experience health while telling the story of the latest sickness. A house divided cannot stand. And when you think one thing, speak another, and then do a third, you are spiritually and mentally health, your spiritual and mental health are faulty and divided. So life is a perfect mirror, reflection of what you think, speak, and do. Your life is like a glass panel that reveals exactly what is going on inside of you and me and those we love. We are constantly projecting right on the screen of our lives. We are the movie, we are the producer, we are the actor, we are everything in the movie of life. So what movie are you living? What are you doing? What movie are you living? Are you in an adventure? Are you in a horror film? I don't know. What are you living? What's your life look like? And then know that no matter what it looks like right now, in 2 seconds it'll be different. And you know why it'll be different? Because we're going to do what in 2014? Make it the best year of our lives. All right, as Dr. Jim said that, next week, Reverend Patrick Harbula will be talking about chapter 2, which is the way it works. Okay, the thing itself is just us, who we are, the essence and the belief that we are. Dr. Susan will be here on the 19th, and she'll be taking chapter 3, what it does. And Dr. Jim will finish up on the 26th, but how to use it. Change something today. No matter what it is. Now, how small it is, change just one thought today. Do something differently. Quit complaining. Tell yourself, I'm going to be aware of anything I complain about today. And guess what? You're going to start going, oh my God, I didn't think I complained that much. It's going to come up and you're going to start being aware of it. I am so blessed to be here with you. I am so blessed that you came to hear the thing itself. And I am so grateful for everyone in this community, all of my friends that came to support me today, and all of you out there. And I know that 2014, and when we stand here next year, and if I do chapter 1 or whatever, we're going to look back at 2014 and go, yes, we did it. And so it is.